Welcome guys, what's going on? What is happening? Sorry, I'm just getting some bits sorted before I forget. Didn't want to do that. I haven't really got anything specific to talk about today. I just thought we'd let the questions roll in and sort of see where it takes us. I'm just very conscious that Maya is still awake. She should be asleep by now, but she keeps getting out of bed. Could be a rocky one. The new video looks like it's doing well. Posted about 2 hours ago now. People seem to be enjoying it. I've got some nice comments on there, so that's nice. That's nice. Right, let's see if we can not get demonetized this time by playing a bunch of copyright music. Rorgel, I don't know how you say that. Rorgel Fuss. You're right. How's it going? Sorry guys, I'm just getting some bits sorted before we begin. I think I might share this on my Facebook page. Let's do that. 150 square meter sandstone patio. What would you charge? Love the vids, by the way. Thanks, mate. There's a fair amount to consider. Generally, if I'm doing a chemical treatment as well, I'd go in at about £3.50 times 150 square meters, about 525. I've actually just done one. I've just done a quote very similar to this, and the chap is looking at getting the ceiling done as well, and we're going to be doing like a canopy roof clean as well for free, just like a little, it's like a glass pergola. But it depends how confident you are in getting the results. I mean, sandstone is normally very nice, normally comes up well. Yeah, it depends what sort of services you're offering. Is it if you're going to do a chemical treatment and you're going to guarantee you're going to get rid of all them black spots, if the drainage is good, if the water pressure is good, there's lots to consider really. I think I'm going to share this stream to my Facebook to see if anyone wants to get involved. How's everyone doing? You all keeping well? What would sealant be on top of that? So with the sealant, I am just considering mainly how long I think it's going to take me, and my day rate, my personal day rate, I want to be about £230, £235 maybe. And I think sealing an area that large with maybe a roller or a sprayer, depending on what the surface is, probably going to take me the best part of half a day, so I want at least half a day's wages out of it, plus the cost of the sealer. And you can work out the cost of the sealer based on the square meterage. You can go on like the Pure Seal website I'm just going to show you here so you can see. Can you see that? Yeah, so I go on the Pure Seal website here, and let's type in, for example, their new one, the Acrylic Seal, which is one I'm looking at picking up soon. Just because this one can be applied in damp conditions, which is really rare for, like, well, I've not heard of any other sealers that you can apply damp. So you could potentially wash and seal the same day using this. So this says it covers 5 meters squared per litre. So the quote I'm doing is, I can't remember, it was about 180 meters squared divided by, what am I doing there? 180 meters squared divided by 5 meters squared per litre is 36. And then they come in 5 litre tubs, so you want to divide it again by 5. It's 7.2 tubs. And to make that stretch as far as possible, I'll probably round that up to more like 9 or 10 tubs. So for that surface area, just to be on the safe side, we're looking at 10 tubs of this 5 litre water-based sealer. So 10 times 35 quid, 350, plus delivery is about 16 quid. So 366 just for the sealer. But bearing in mind that is a pretty massive area to seal, so that's, you'd expect to pay a fair whack for the sealer on that one. Spick and Span, how you doing? Tony, how's it going, man? You alright? I'm sorry guys, I'm a bit all over the place. I can hear Maya walking around and she shouldn't be. She should be in bed. Stephen James, I have a Mercedes Sprinter long wheelbase and my problem is I want a van setup. I'm thinking it's way too big. What's your thoughts? To be honest, I would love a long wheelbase Mercedes. I'd just be able to put everything where I want it. I could stick a bed in the back and sleep in that. Like, I would love something big like that. But it's just a case of making sure everything has its place and it's like bolted down, I suppose. I think that's the direction that everyone generally works towards. They want to gradually get a bigger and bigger van when the funds allow. I mean, if you're used to driving it and you're happy manoeuvring that sort of van. Is the music a bit loud? Let me know. Bear with me just a second. I'm just going to check on Maya. What are you doing? I see you. You're a cheeky monkey. Come on. You're supposed to be in bed. Give me a cuddle. You're supposed to be in bed. I know. Do you want to ring it up in bed? You can't do anything. You're not doing anything. How are you doing that? Sorry, please. You're supposed to be in bed. If you want, I'll tell you what, you put the light on. You can tell you who's walking. You can tell you who's heading for half an hour. Okay? And then it's like time for half an hour. Okay? What's wrong? Why? Sorry guys, you have to bear with me just a sec. She's not tired. How about these? You want to play with those? Take me to Deary me. That's alright, buddy, no worries. What CPM can you expect from a jet washing channel? CPM. CPM. I know that acronym. Cost per mile. That say milli? Oh, is that cost per million views? I don't know, mate. It's all it depends on the channel. It's all relative. Most of my income is coming from my shorts at the minute. The shorts are going insane. Just hit 24 million on TikTok. It's crazy. Ad revenue. It's different for each video. It's impossible to predict. Let's do a quick post. Streaming live on... Actually, I was going to do it on my phone because I've got a before and after picture I wanted to put up from today. Done 2 jobs today. Well, 3 technically, because I was resanding as well.
Dad, I might add some more. Might add some more.
Some more what?
Some more teddies.
There's some teddies under Luca's bed. You can have a look.
Okay. But don't get tape on teddy. One to short.
Sorry?
One to short or open.
I'd like the door shut, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Daddy, we just monkey.
Maya, if you're going to come in here, you're going to have to be quiet, okay?
Okay, why?
Why?
Yeah. Yes, monkey. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
This is going to be tough. It's going to be a tough one tonight, I reckon.
Daddy, might add some more after.
Maya,
What?
be quiet, please. Hey. Live with a child, yeah. I got told I was too expensive today. I went to a job that I quoted weeks ago. Alright, Chris, she does love it. Sorry? What am I talking to? I'm talking to all these people here. Because they're talking to me. We're talking about boring stuff like cleaning. Huh? Just pretending? Yeah, I'm just pretending.
Might have monkey
You
in
can
the bedroom.
You can have the monkey in your bedroom, yeah.
Okay, might add some more after.
Yeah.
Might add some over after.
All of them after?
Yeah.
Why don't you take a few with you? Why don't you take this one? This one's gross. Look at
that. I would ask my own.
It's got like real teeth.
I would show my
You
this.
want to show the monkey?
Yeah.
Right then. Put it there. There you go. Okay, back to your room now, okay?
What?
Because you're supposed to be in bed, right?
Yeah.
It's chill time. JP, what's going on? You're right. Good night.
No,
Cheeky monkey. Cheekiest monkey I ever saw. Let's get into it. Has anyone got any questions they've been thinking about? Has any did anyone watch the new video that got uploaded tonight? I've so far only had 1 refusal when I've quoted. That's how long have you been going? How many quotes have you done, do you reckon? She's back. Spick and span. Do you ever make hypo with 6% strength for black spots? I struggle with the percentage. You're right. Did you bash your head? I struggle to work out the percentages. I think that's more of a US thing. I tend to just do ratios. I suppose I could work it out, couldn't I? So say for example, I'm going to embarrass myself with the maths here. Okay, love you. Okay. Okay. 5 AM. Do penguins have knees? Yeah, they must, for sure. You've done about 10 quotes. That's a good. That's like, what's that? 90%. That's good. What was we talking about? So percentage-wise, say I'm using 15% hypo, and I'm diluting that 1 to 5. What's that? Can someone do the maths on that? Let me know if that music's too loud. 15% hypo, diluted 1 to 5 with water. Generally, I'm doing, on a big area, I'm doing 16 litres of water to about 4 litres of hypo. So that's like 1 to 4, isn't it? I struggle with the percentage strength because you're starting out with something that isn't 100%. You're starting out with 15%. So it's a bit strange for me. I'm not very good at maths. Chris, where are you from? If it's 5 AM. So yeah, I was doing a job today, just for Shag, Batman. Welcome, you're right. I was doing a job today that I quoted weeks ago, and it's like a surrounding path. In fact, if I put these before and afters up, you'll be able to see, and then I can finally tell you what I was trying to say. How about that? Why don't we do that? Copy the link. Right, I am streaming live on YouTube. Come say hi. Here's Is that new granite video in the newer estate in Brock Hill? No. JP, do you live in Redditch? Where are you? Who? Do I know you? JP. No, it's in Web Heath. Let's post these before and afters from today. A few from today. Right, that's it. I'm done. I'm off my phone. I'm your favourite JP. JP. I use Does that say Southeast Hypo Calculator to help me with my mixture? I'll have to have a look at that. Let's have a look right now. Is it an app? Is that a Hypo Calculator an app? I think, I wonder if the Pure Seal app is out yet. Because I know it's out on iPhone, but they've got everything on there apparently. They've got a measuring thing where you can use your camera to measure an area, and it's super accurate. No, it's not on there. I think it's on iPhone, it's just not on Android yet. Okay, mate. What's the goal of this live? It's a good question. It's because I need more attention than I'm getting. This girl. So this is a job from today. Very poor drainage. So this drain here, you can see my mouse, can't you? Maya,
What?
listen to me.
What?
You can have one more teddy,
Okay.
and then you need to take it to your room, and you need to stay in your room.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. My eyes over, Daddy's.
You can have one more, and then you need to stay in your room. Else I'm going to take them all off you.
Okay.
All right. Deal? I said one more.
Okay, please, after tomorrow. Please,
You can have them tomorrow?
yeah.
Okay. You stay in your room now, yeah?
Yeah.
Promise?
Yeah.
Pinky?
Okay.
Love you.
Yeah.
Cheeky. Yeah, terrible drainage. So this drain here, it was on a high point of the patio, so all the water pooled around here and it didn't go anywhere, so I had to brush it away. And then on this bit, the water pooled right in the middle of this circle, so they could have done with like a drain right in the middle, but the whole area had like warped and it was all like uneven because over the years the water had got to the substrate, whatever.
This broken.
It's broken.
Yeah.
Maya, you must stay in your room now. This is your last chance.
Okay. Might have different teddy.
You can have a different teddy, and that is your last chance.
Okay.
Go.
What?
Go now. Get Teddy.
Okay, my turn still first. Daddy.
What chemicals do you use for a pre and a post wash? I suppose it depends on the surface, but okay, you can take that one. Generally, it's hypo, isn't it, on most surfaces. I never pre-wash, pre-treat anymore. I never understood pre-treating. I tried it once. It just doesn't make sense to me. In my opinion, to get the most of the chemicals, to get the best efficacy from the chemicals, you want to clean the surface first, and then what's left you want to treat, and then maybe do another pass or a light rinse afterwards. But in my opinion, if you're going to treat first, there's going to be layers of dirt that those chemicals aren't going to be able to get to. So it seems like a waste of time. I know a lot of people, especially in the US, when they're doing the big concrete cleans, big concrete driveways and stuff, they pre-treat and post-treat. Maybe it's so that you can go lower pressure and you're not etching the concrete. This is another one from today. So I had to clean all this wood along the side here. So this is the one that the lady told me I was too expensive. You can pretty much see the work I did here, right? So you guys tell me what you think you'd have quoted to do this job. You can see the whole area here. So it's these paths, wrap around to there, just to that gate. Cleaning these fence posts underneath, sides of them, you know, you got to get it from all angles. And then I just washed this lamppost as well. Guys, I'll be right back.
Why?
Because you're being very naughty. No pre-treating. You don't pre-treat. Yeah, I don't understand it personally. What would you guys quote for this area? And then I'll see how close I was. I did a lovely drive, was it yesterday? This one here. This came up so well. I went back and sanded it today because it's been so lovely and warm. It's amazing how much the weather affects how quickly you can roll through the jobs. Like, I've been able to fit so much more in when it comes to like sealing, resanding. Like I found that if I'm getting my jobs done early enough, I'll fit in like a couple of resanding jobs here and there, rather than having to wait 4 days for them to sort of dry out because the temperature's sort of average. Andy, welcome. You're right. Batman, you reckon about 250 quid. What do you do with the leftover sludge that has been shoveled up? Where do you dispose of it? So I don't have a waste disposal license. I don't particularly want waste in my van, and so I always leave it with the customer, and I tell them beforehand during the quoting process. I'll say, look, there's going to be a pile of moss, a pile of sludge. I'll scoop it all into a pile. I'll let it drain out. I can even put it into like a woven polypropylene bag for you, so all the moisture drains out the bottom and you're just left with a bag of dirt. I can scoop it into your plant borders. I can put it into your garden waste bin, whatever you want me to do with it. And at that point, rather than thinking, oh, he doesn't take away the waste, they're actually thinking, oh, I wonder what we can do with this waste. It's not like, sorry, I can't take the waste away with me. I'm actually offering them solutions rather than just leaving them with the problem. Hey, Soph. This girl's been a nightmare, by the way. I've told her 4 times, this is your last chance. Don't come in here again. You're supposed to be in bed. I've left her with her light on, with her toys, with her stories playing. So just play in your room. You've got half an hour. She's just posting things through the door because she knows she's not allowed to be in here. Absolute nuisance. Hi Andy, loving the videos you put out there. Thanks mate. Batman, you reckon about 250? Yeah, Comet, there's lots of... There are people that take them away with them. There are people that just brush everything down the drain, which I don't think is a good idea, because you're either going to leave the customer with problems, or if a neighbour catches you brushing a load of sludge down the drain, you could probably get in trouble. So offer them solutions. There's plenty of options out there. If they don't have plant borders, or if they don't have a compost bin, or if they don't have a garden waste bin, just say, look, I can bag it up for you, and you can get rid of it next time you go down the tip. And they're normally quite happy with that. Yeah, she did have a nap today. Now she's absolutely buzzing. I had a feeling this wasn't gonna be a smooth one tonight. Do you use any mud shields / tarpaulin to protect neighbours' cars on street cars when they're close to where you're pressure washing? Luckily, I don't do many like city centre pressure washing jobs. We live in a town, and all the houses, people have fairly wide driveways and stuff. And if there is a car next door or on the street, I'll always knock the neighbour's door and say, look, I'm pressure washing next door. I don't want to get your car covered in dirt. And if they're not able to move it, I'll just say, look, if it does get any dirt on it, are you happy for me to rinse your car down? Because the last thing you want to see when someone's pressure washing next door, you don't want to look out the window and they're pressure washing your car. It's like, what are you doing? I'd rather knock for permission for that sort of stuff first. Because it's a nice gesture to be pressure washing someone's car because you've got it a bit dirty, but you don't know what people are going to think, do you? You can't, you know. Going to save my battery, be home in an hour. Okay, no worries, that was a bit earlier than expected, so that's nice. I thought you weren't going to be home till 10. Beautiful. New to this game, have 3 quotes to do this week. Hopefully I can get jobs using your text technique, let's see. Nice. Andy, I'm starting to do a lot more quotes remotely now. It's lovely to be able to go out in person, and when I was less busy, I was visiting every single quote in person where I can, and it gives you a chance to just introduce yourself to the customer and make a good impression, all that sort of stuff, and get a good like visually inspect the area and check the tap, check the water pressure, check the drainage. Just posting stuff through the door. Check the access, all that sort of stuff, because it's really, that's one of the things. I'm going to make a list of stuff that I need to look for when I'm quoting, because it still gets me sometimes. So the first one I want to check is surface area, and I think I had a nice message today about it. I still haven't decided, is it meter squared or square meters? So if you haven't got your tape measure, or if the area is too big to measure with your tape measure, you'll want to ideally have Google Earth on your phone. It's not Google Maps, it's Google Earth. You can get the phone app, and I can just show you on here. I use this every day. So on Google Earth, is this one I was doing? Some of these houses you can see are in like heavily shaded areas, so it's very difficult to pick out Yeah, this is actually a job from today. Very difficult to see where the surface is, whereas this one here is perfect. So ideally, if you're not going to measure by hand when you're on site, you want to grab Google Earth out on your phone and see if it's possible to do. And at that point, you could just go home, say, yeah, I'll give you a text later on once I've measured the area, and it is that simple. 72 meters squared. Oh look, so that says meters squared, not square meters. That's interesting. That seems big. Is that really 72 meters squared? So this is the one I was looking at today. I think we determined it was about 64 meters squared. I'm confused. That isn't the house I was at today, sorry. Yeah, that's a totally different house. So yeah, that is very, very easy. And then you literally just, you get that measurement there. And depending on the surface type, you want to get like a general price per surface. So say this one's, I'll round it down to like 82 meters squared. Sorry, 80. And say for tarmac, for example, I might do £3 per square meter times 80, 240 quid. Nice and easy. For block paving, I might be about £4 per square meter. 4 times 80, 320. Whether you want to include sand in that or not is up to you. I think you guys talking about having a set price per square meter, I think you need to adjust it. You can do it on Google Maps. Ah, I thought it was only Google Earth. That's interesting. I think you want to have a price per square meter depending on the surface type, because each surface is different to clean. If you're not having to go back to resand, or if there's a surface that doesn't require a chemical treatment, or if it's just literally one pass with a surface cleaner and a rinse down, I don't think you're going to get away with charging £4 per square meter. You might want to knock it down to to 3. If it's a massive area, you might want to consider bringing it down to like £2.50 per square meter. Generally, the bigger the area, the lower cost per square meter I charge, just to give that customer a bit of added value. I was talking about something just then. Oh, here we go. Surface area. So the first thing I'm obviously looking at is surface area, then access, then drainage is probably the most important one, because if you've got no drainage, it's going to make the job twice, if not 3 times as difficult. Water pressure from the tap. What else? Staining. So if you can see any immediate staining, like rust, heavy black spots, mortar staining, these are things that you can upsell as a service, because all the products to get rid of these stains are readily available. So if you spot these during the quoting process, you can upsell these as like a stain removal service, because it's more of a specialist thing, and it's probably not chemicals you're going to carry in the van most of the time. Black spots obviously you are, but things like mortar, concrete and mortar removal, rust removal, it's more specialist. Let's just catch up. How close was Batman with the 250? So with this one, I charged I charged 145 quid for this. So that's the paths, that's the fence posts up to here, and just a quick wash down of the lamppost. 145 quid, less than an hour's work, and she was in shock at the price. Bearing in mind, she's known the price for like 2 weeks. It was a weird conversation. She was an old lady. Lorenzo, is that alert really loud? Let me know if that alert was too loud. I've just put my alerts back on, so when you guys become members, become paid members of the channel, and when you do donations and stuff, they'll pop up on the stream now, which is nice. I'm in the Cotswolds. Charge £1 per square foot. Are you doing it in square feet? I've been using Google Maps. Keep getting told I'm expensive, but the work's coming in. Yeah, and if you're good, and people are pleased with the results, and they think they've got good value for money, and you're charging what you think you're worth, no one can say you're expensive. If you're getting work in, and things are going well, you're offering a high quality service, and the price reflects that, in my opinion. This one came up well. Went back to resand this the other day. Beautiful. Hello, Pip. Yeah, I've always used Google Earth to measure. Let's try it. I don't see any measuring tools. Is it only on the phone version? Batman with 2 quid. Thanks, buddy. Don't tell me that alert didn't pop up. There it is. £2 with a super chat. Thanks, mate. Very kind of you. How do you check the water pressure? So literally just turn the tap on. I'm going to share a video. No, I'm not, because it's got all the person's details on there. But I've got a friend that gets me a bit of work. He's got a grounds maintenance business. He actually got me this job here, and he literally walks the property with the camera. He shows me every little bit. At the end, he shows me the access, and then he just turns the tap on to show me the flow rate of the tap. And you can tell whether it's going to be okay, whether it's not. Thank you, Batman. I do really appreciate it. That's really kind. You can tell when it's got half decent water pressure. It's okay for me because I've got a buffer tank, so I can just hook up to the water, turn it on while I'm getting set up, and the tank will gradually fill. It doesn't really matter how good the water pressure is, because as soon as that tank's full, I've got 250 litres of water to burn through before I need to stop. If you're running a machine straight from the customer's water supply, that's where it's more important, because you've got more chance of burning out your pump if the water can't keep up with your machine. Which is where one of these comes in handy. One of these, look. Stick that on there and it'll tell you litres per minute. and generally the little machines where you don't need a buffer tank is under 15 litres per minute. Most customers' water supplies are between about 8 and 14, maybe 15 litres per minute. So I don't know, you're running a risk, I think, anytime you're going straight from the customer's water supply. If your machine is anything over if it's anything over 9 litres per minute, I think you're running a risk of your pump being starved of water, potentially. Just my opinion. What do I know? Nothing. Sorry, I was answering questions. You need a wee? Okay. Go on then. I will be back and I will answer these questions because I'm struggling to keep up. I'm sorry. 2 secs. Okay. $11 per minute. My first machine was 11 litres per minute. And there was only one job in 6 months that I couldn't complete because there wasn't enough water coming from the tap. And I think mine was 11 litres per minute. Batman, thanks again for the donation. Planet Data started with 750i, 300 quid, paid for itself in the first job. Yeah, that's solid advice from Bare Bones. I started off small, and yeah, like you say, the machine paid for itself very quickly. The customers that think I'm expensive aren't the customers I'm targeting. I'd rather have large jobs I can spend a few days than multiple small jobs in a day. Set up and pack up time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I rarely go out to small jobs now. If it's like a small patio in Birmingham or something, and I've got to drive 30 minutes to get there, you know, for the sake of, once I'm set up, it's probably half an hour's work, and there's weeds everywhere, and you could tell it's going to be a nightmare drainage and stuff. I just don't even bother with those jobs. I just say, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to turn that one down. The Wilkes machine, does it stay in the van? I think the Wilkes machine probably only comes with like 10 meters of a hose, so you'd probably have to pull it out the van. That's what I found with my first machine. They don't come with much hose. Yeah, this work is very seasonal indeed. Indeed. Oh, you got an extra 20 meters of hose. I have a total of 50 meters of hose in my van now, on a reel. So my machine stays in the van, and that's just about enough. Oh, I just realised, so the quote that we did together in the last stream was accepted by the customer, pending a date, because he's having a skip. He's having a skip on the drive, so he wants to get it done after that, but he's happy with the price. Just going to play Mivid in the background, just so you guys can see my setup while we're chatting. It's on wheels. When I started out, I had a Mercedes coupe. So I was borrowing my girlfriend's Toyota RAV4, and I had a Parker's brand. I had this one. I literally just bought this with a turbo nozzle, and I used that probably for about 6 months solid, and it was great. No complaints whatsoever. Never used this sub compartment in the bottom. It was absolutely useless. You don't want to be putting chemicals through your pump, really. But then the pump started leaking oil all over this lady's patio as I was cleaning it, so I had to go and rent a machine. It was probably more than 6 months actually. I got quite a few hours out of this machine. Plenty powerful enough. Obviously going up to 15 litres per minute was a hefty upgrade. That was decent. But they are not... Look, they say here very clearly they're not suitable for commercial use. So they're not promoting it as like something you should be using for your business. It's more like a hobbyist thing for around the property. But 11 litres a minute, 3,100 psi, and they also sell a cheap turbo nozzle, 20 quid. This lasted me ages as well. You can't go wrong really with that. I paid £305 and it's now 237. How are they doing that machine so cheap? I might even buy one of them just as a little backup. Do you know what? If I had an apprentice, or if I had like a young lad with me and I wanted to get him some experience and send him out on little fairly easy jobs, I'd get him something like that. He could just shove it in his car. That is a cheap machine, man. And they sell all the parts. They sell like spares. on their website. I just want to see what's the product code for this. PPPW 3100. I'm just interested. Bear with me. Look at all this. They sell the pump, so that's the bit that broke for me. I've still got it at my mate's house. So I just give it to my mate and said, look, if you want to buy a, I think it was 70 quid the pump was at the time. This pressure washer's great. Replacement pull start. Replacement nozzles, lance, exhaust. They do everything on here. Look, you can get the whole replacement engine for 95 quid. I've always been intrigued as to whether you can build a go-kart out of one of these little pressure washer engines. Probably not powerful enough, really. Look at all this, man. I think that's cracking that you can get a machine that cheap and just get all the spare parts for when it breaks, if it breaks. I'll just find a location on satellite view, zoom in, right click. Sorry? Okay. You're supposed to be in bed, girl. That's it, that's fine. You don't have to cry, it's alright. Find a location, satellite view, zoom in, right click on the corner of the drive and go from there. Of course you've got to be on satellite view. That makes more sense. Ah, look. Measure distance, look. Ah, look at that. And you can add as many points as you like with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go to bed now? Are you done?
Yeah.
You ready for bed? Are you tired? Okay. Love you. Gives you the total area and then the perimeter. View at YouTube. Thanks for subscribing. Look at that. That's cool, isn't it? I didn't know you could do that. Can you do that on the phone version as well? That is good. I thought I had to have Google Earth installed. I used a dustbin buffer initially. Has anyone seen my video on the dustbin buffer? I did a very specific in-depth video. If you haven't already seen it, you might find it useful. Purely because of the... I feel like everyone's using this fill valve now. Every one of these buffer tanks I see up for sale is using this new fill valve that I found deep on Amazon. I was searching for like 2 nights to try and find the perfect fill valve. I did so much research. And now I feel like every buffer tank that I see that's up for sale, or people are making YouTube videos and stuff on, it's got that fill valve, so I feel quite proud of myself. Oh, you used it to build yours? That's cool. That's good to know. Yeah, we went ham on that video. We did quite a lot with regards to like all the timing and stuff. I'm quite proud of that video. And I got Luca involved as well. And he had fun. That we would... He tried his best, bless him. We were filling it all up. That was probably a false reading. We probably should have done that one again. Evening. Also sent you a message on Insta. Okay, mate, I'll have a look in a bit. yeah, that was a cute video. I enjoyed doing that one. Got Luca got like climbed up inside. Does anyone post their page via local groups? I'm interested in that. Not that I'm really looking into advertising at the minute, but I think a lot of groups, they have like a rule where you can post your business page maybe like once a week or only on Mondays and stuff. But I found when I do a job for like, say I do a job in Webb Heath, for example, which is a little area in my town. They've got like their Webb Heath community page where only if you live in Webb Heath you're allowed to be on this page. And someone will recommend me, someone will say, oh, Jake's done a great job with our drive, if you need any pressure work doing. And they'll put that on, and I'll literally get 6 or 7 messages from people in Webb Heath over the next few days. It's insane how like effective that is. So maybe you can say that to customers, like before you leave, just say like, oh, if you can tell they're really pleased, you can just say, oh, if you're able, I'd really appreciate if you left me a review, and if you're part of any like local Facebook pages and stuff, I'd really appreciate if you could put my details on there. What does Smelt mean? It's my surname. Did you write a business plan before you started your business? That's a good question. Business plans are generally designed, as far as I know, if you're going to apply for some sort of funding. And so it's great practice to lay it all out for yourself, make sure it's something that's going to be profitable and that's going to make you money and it's sensible. That's a good idea. But it seems like a bit of a waste of time if you're going to put that much effort into like a full business plan for yourself if you're not seeking funding. I just post before and after pictures with a quick description about me, add a link to my business page, post that in the local business pages. That's a great idea. There's also a thing you can do on Facebook where you can put up like before and after pictures, and then you can add a WhatsApp button. If your WhatsApp business account is linked to your Facebook account, you can add a WhatsApp button, and then it posts the pictures with your title and then a link to your WhatsApp, so they can just click it and it'll come up in their phone. Really quick way for people to message you. You want to like remove as many steps as possible for people to be able to get in contact with you, because if they have to search too hard for your details, they're not going to bother. This is pretty much my current setup at the minute. God, I haven't used that invoice book in ages. I do all my invoices digitally now, so I'll just send them over email. Oh, I need to do some invoices tonight actually. I'll leave it till tomorrow. It'll be alright. Michael says, have to say a massive thank you for the tip on the tool station hose and tank stopper. Made filling up my wheelie bin super quick. This is going to be a long night, isn't it? What's up, girl? Your toe? Let's have a look. Where? Where?
There.
Oh yeah. Your toenail's clean up. You've been picking it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Don't pick it. Don't pick it, Daddy.
There you go. I got it. It's gone now.
Don't pick it, my shirt.
I love you.
Don't pick it.
Okay. Can you shut the door, please? Thank you. Can you go to bed, please, now? Please just go to sleep, yeah? Would you recommend a Peugeot partner? Oh, sorry, Michael. I'm really pleased that you found that video useful. It's transformed my workflow as well, to be honest. That hose, the 3/4 inch hose? 19mm hose? Combined with that new fill valve. Oh, when they've got averagely good water pressure, my tank never drops below full now. It's crazy. The amount of time I spent waiting for my tank to refill, and now that's literally a thing of the past. It doesn't happen anymore. Is crazy, just from like such a simple change. I've also got the 19mm hose fittings to put on my reel. I got some from, like, for some reason Lidl had them in the middle aisle. 19mm oversized hose fittings. So I bought like 5 of them. They're only 99p each. And I just haven't got around to fitting them because I was stuffing the 19mm hose into the original hose fittings. My tool station hose, by the way, has ballooned. You can see it in one of my latest upgrade videos. The thumbnail is literally a picture of my hose. So this is my current setup. I remember when I used to wedge that hose up there, look. That was quite an ingenious place for it, to be fair. Your business card is well smart. Thanks, Andy. Will I still get customers if I'm working out of a car rather than a van? Mate, as long as your before and after photos look good, and as long as you're being recommended from friends and family and stuff, it doesn't matter how you look when you turn up. I mean, when you're starting out, people want to see you succeed. You don't have to lie to them and say, I've been doing this for 10 years. You can just say, oh yeah, I'm still in my car. I only started 3 or 4 months ago. Things are going really well. Really enjoying it, you know. People want to see you succeed. And so there's no shame in turning up in a car because you're not in a position to buy a van yet. Just be honest with the customer. You don't have to pretend you're more knowledgeable than you are. You can just show them that you work hard and you want to make a good impression. That's all they care about. That's it, Michael. Doesn't matter as long as you can show results. I started out the back of my girlfriend's RAV4. Would you recommend a Peugeot partner as a first van? I love it, to be fair. I didn't think I'd like driving a Peugeot because it's French and it's a bit cheap and a bit nasty. It's not nasty, it's just everything sort of rattles a little bit. I mean, I think it's a 2010 van, so it's one of the most modern vehicles I've ever owned. My cars are normally from the 1970s. My Reliant Scimitars. And old Lexuses and old Toyotas. Yeah, this is probably one of the most modern cars I've owned, to be fair. I use Wave for invoicing 2 minutes on my phone whilst at the job. That's a good idea. Yeah, if you can get it done on your phone. I prefer to do everything when I prefer to focus on the physical stuff when I'm at the property, when I'm doing the work, and then the payment side of things. Like, I don't even send them my bank details while I'm at the address. They'll say, "Oh, could you send me your bank details?" So yeah, I'll text you a bit later on. No worries. Like, more time spent on my phone is more time away from focusing on the actual job. I'll end up forgetting something, like, I don't know, maybe I'm weird. You work out of a camper van, that's cool. WhatsApp are adding a function soon whereby your telephone number won't be needed. you can set up a username and give this to customers instead. That is super interesting to know. That's cool. Do you still need to sign up? Do you still need a phone number to be able to sign up? Because I've considered getting WhatsApp on one of my on a phone for my son, but I don't want to be paying for a SIM card. Like, he's only going to be using Wi-Fi when he's in the house. He's not going to need data. I don't necessarily need him making phone calls and stuff. That's interesting. Your business card is well smart. Thanks, Andy. Ford S-Max, still picking up jobs. Nice. Get it done. Hi, mate. James Phillips. Been watching your vids loads. Really helped me getting set up and ready to start. If you were to start again with what you know now, would you have got the buffer tank to start with? No. I didn't have room for a bin, for a buffer tank when I first started. I barely had enough room for my hose reel and my machine in my car. And so, no, I managed perfectly fine with the machine that I had without a buffer tank. I only had to turn down one job because of poor water pressure. It's a good question though. A lot of people go into it thinking, oh, to start with a machine that's got, you know, decent power, I need a buffer tank. And it's true to an extent, but I'd say less than 12 litres per minute. If you can get a machine 11, 12 litres per minute, I think you'll be alright without a buffer tank generally. And it's small, it's compact, you can chuck it in the back of the car. Because the other thing about having a wheelie bin as a buffer tank is hoiking it around the property. Your suction hose from the wheelie bin to the machine needs to be long enough for you to be able to... I had this problem right when I was testing. Let me see if I can find the video. I was doing like a sponsored video where I was testing this machine. If you've got a decent sized van, yeah, just get a tank. You've got nothing to lose, other than the expense of the tank or the buffer tank, the wheelie bin, whatever. So here, look, see this wheelie bin? So luckily I had 20 meters worth of hose here, but see that blue hose on the bottom here? That was the suction hose going from the bottom of the tank to the pressure washer. And that suction hose was only like 3 meters maybe. See that blue one on the bottom there? And so it means if my high pressure hose isn't long enough to get down to the bottom of the drive, I have to move my pressure washer closer. I have to move the wheelie bin a bit, move the pressure washer a bit more, move the wheelie bin a bit more, bearing in mind that wheelie bin is going to be full of water. Like, I don't know how people do it. And that drive was on an incline as well, so if you lose that wheelie bin halfway down the drive, you're going to get water everywhere. Like, it just seems like a massive hassle to me. I would much rather have what I've got now, which is a tank mounted in the van. When I say mounted, it's literally ratchet strapped to like the roll cage thing that's over the driver's head. Ratchet strapped to that. And then just leave the machine in the van and just get a longer high pressure hose. Like, I appreciate it's more expense initially. Is it more expense? I think because you could still have a wheelie bin in the van that you don't need to take out. I think the biggest expense then would be a longer high pressure hose from the van. That's the only difference there. And this job was the perfect job to test out this tank, because the water pressure was terrible. So I wouldn't have been able to run this machine at this property without a buffer tank. Craig says, have you ever thought of starting a Discord or a Facebook group for people to help each other? I have. I actually have a WhatsApp group for people in the West Midlands to pass each other work and to ask questions and stuff. And that went quite well. And it's not so active anymore, really, because people don't want to share jobs. They don't want to offer work out for some reason. Like if I get work that's not in my local area, I'll just offer it to someone else. But other people don't tend to do that for some reason. I think there's lots of Facebook groups out there for people to help each other with pressure washing advice. I don't think I necessarily need to make another one. I like doing these live streams, to be fair. If people have got questions to ask, this is like an ideal place to ask them. I mean, I'll try my best. I'm not, I keep saying I'm not an expert, and I'm not. Like, I've only been doing it for a couple of years now. But I do a lot of research, and so the questions that you guys starting out have got are questions that I've already asked in the past and found the answers to. So is it rude of me to ask how much profit you make in a year? If I'm being rude, please don't feel like you have to answer. I understand where the question's coming from, so I know it's not your intention isn't for it to be rude, because if you're in this industry, you want to know that it's profitable before you change your whole job and career and life, whatever. I got by last year. Like I did okay last year. This year has been insane. Like so far, it's because I'm doing some pretty hefty jobs every day. I'm doing big jobs, and when I'm not doing big jobs, the small ones, I'm doing like 2 or 3 a day. And so I'm making sure I'm busy. Like, I've got every day booked up, and it's just been insane. I'm struggling to keep up with the quotes and stuff. So, but I think my situation is different because I'm doing so many like videos on Facebook and TikTok and stuff. I think that's not like a normal representation of someone starting out their business. So unless you're planning on doing something similar to what I'm doing, where you're posting reels and shorts and before and after pictures every week, almost every day, then your success might be different to mine. But I'm in a great position at the minute. Things are going really well. So I'll just say that rather than tell you the specifics of how much I'm actually earning. I don't know why. Like, is that a good idea? I don't know. I always wonder why it's rude to ask about money. But then when someone asks me about money, I'm generally not inclined to tell them exactly what I'm earning. I don't know. I still need to think about that. Why haven't you got YouTube Premium? Because I'm tight. Why pay for something that I don't need to pay for? To be fair, I watch so much YouTube that I should just get YouTube Premium. But if running this business has taught me anything, is that I can make sacrifices. Sam says, "All right, mate, love the channel. I recently ordered the Parker pressure washer that I believe you started with." I did. "Can you give me any advice on equipment I need with this machine?" To be fair, if you've ordered that machine, it means you probably watched one of my first videos, which is me talking about that machine. And that first video I think it's 6 things I used to start my pressure washing business. I think if you watch that, that pretty much sums up everything I used to start out. Do I use anything differently now? Other than things like my water-fed pole and my gardener backpack and the chemicals and stuff to do the gutters and the fascias and all that sort of stuff. For pressure washing, no, it's literally just the machine, a brush, polypropylene bags to put all the dirt in if the customer wants me to bag the dirt up. And then, yeah, sand, that's it. Like, there's nothing else you need to clean a driveway unless it needs a chemical treatment. I'm glad you're enjoying the channel, Sam. Thanks for joining the stream. Would you do a video that goes over what you should have, could have, and lost of things you should? A list of things you should upgrade first. A video that goes over what you should have, could have, and a list of things you should upgrade first. Yeah, that'd be a weird one to structure because everyone starts from a different position. Everyone's starting point is different. I've tried to factor in everything when it came to like building my kit, like even the van. My van needed to have 3 seats because I've got 2 kids, and I take my little girl to nursery and I pick my boy up from school, and so I needed at least 3 seats in the van. So that was like the starting position for me. And the other thing is everyone's intentions for the business are different. Like a lot of people start in like window cleaning, and then they do some pressure washing, and then they might do more pressure washing than window cleaning. For me, the direction of my business, I'm only intending on doing pressure washing and gutter cleaning. Nothing else. I'm not doing roof cleaning. I'm not doing window cleaning. What other exterior cleaning is there? So it's so I'm not interested in upgrading and purchasing any of that equipment. The only big upgrade I'll probably do in the future is get a higher flow rate machine that allows me to use a flat surface cleaner on block paving, like this job. If I could use my surface cleaner on this block paving and get good results where it actually penetrates the joints and it removes the moss and the weeds and stuff, then that'll be a worthwhile upgrade for me. But I think you're looking at like 25 litres per minute upwards, maybe even 30 litres per minute, and that's a beefy machine. I started a group on Facebook. It's just not worked. It had 5 members. That's tough. It's a shame when you've got like good intentions for something like that and you want people to help each other and things, and then no one joins. It's difficult. I'm glad you understood where I was coming from with my question. Yeah, of course, Comet. It's I don't mind any questions. I appreciate most of them come from a place of wanting to learn and not wanting to go into things without the proper knowledge. You're not going to go into an industry not knowing if there's a potential to earn. So I totally get it. So ask anything. This is a judgment-free space. I'll try and answer your questions the best I can. AJ, Sorry, AJ Pressure Cleaning Services. Welcome, buddy. I'm very well, thank you. We had a bit of a tough start with Maya keep getting out of bed, but we're good now. I've got my amaretto and Coke. I forgot what amaretto was then. And then I've got a beer to keep me going in a bit. What percentage of your income comes from YouTube? Not a fat lot, to be honest. I've been my YouTube and my TikTok have done incredibly well, considering like they're fairly new channels, and they've been growing very, very quickly. In the last 3 months, since like March, since mid-March, I think YouTube I've made about, I can check for you right now. I don't know why, like, it makes me feel weird sharing this sort of information, but it doesn't make any difference to me. I'm sure you guys are still going to watch my videos regardless of how much I'm earning, so it's a strange subject, talking about money and stuff. But so since the 18th of March, I've earned £728 on YouTube, and that is mainly come from my shorts. If I show you my shorts, some of these, so that's a fairly new one, that's on 80,000 views at the minute, but some of these videos are in the millions. That one's got 8 million views. So this video brought thousands of new subscribers to my channel, and luckily that video was monetized. I didn't play any music in the background like I normally do, and it gets demonetized. And because that video did so well, a lot of my other videos have done well. That one's got almost 500,000. 739k, 4.5 million. That one's just spiked. That video has just started doing really well for some reason, but that's got music behind it, so I'm not getting any money for that one. TikTok is insane. Where's my pinned video? Where's my pinned video? Look at this. Same video that got 8 million views on YouTube is my best performing video on TikTok as well. 24 million views. And that's of course bumped all these other videos up as well. So yeah, crazy really, isn't it? It's nuts what social media can do. What would you, sorry, I'm trying to go through your questions systematically. I'm sorry if I'm going slowly. What would you consider to be a big job, square meter wise? I think anything over 60, 70 square meters is a pretty hefty job. It's going to take the majority of the morning. Anything above 100 square meters is going to take most of the day probably. Well, it depends on your setup, your equipment. Obviously, if you've got great equipment, you're going to blast through an area that size in no time. It depends on the surface. If it's block paving, it's probably going to take a bit longer. You can have a lot more cleanup than if it's like porcelain slabs or Indian sandstone. More flow, more dough. Sam says, I have recently been given a Karcher wet and dry vacuum. I need to get the extendable poles. Any advice on how to find the right poles to fit or shops to go to? So when I had my when I had my Titan vacuum, which is just a cheap Screwfix wet and dry vacuum, I bought Equip2Clean's poles. These gutter vacuum poles. They're 51 millimeters. I think now, I mean, these are pretty cheap. Say you just went for like the 28-foot ones. Now I'd probably go for the Gutter Vacuum Systems poles because they're lighter. They're exactly the same. They look the same. They're the same length. All that sort of stuff. They're just lighter. And I'm sure you can find some sort of you can I made an adapter for mine. I took the old bit off the vacuum. I took a new bit from something else and I literally glued them together. It was crap, like it kept breaking, but it actually did the job. Yeah, you can buy the poles separately, but that's what I did. I've not heard of a Karcher wet and dry vacuum. I thought Karcher only did pressure washers. I have had water dripping from the bottom of my machine now and again. What does that mean? It's a brand new machine. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Unless the water's dripping from maybe your inlet. So maybe the hose going into the inlet of the pump. Maybe there's an O-ring on the hose pipe or something that's allowing a little bit of water to seep through, and that's dripping maybe under your machine. It looks like it's dripping from your pump, but actually it's dripping from the hose. I don't know. Under pressure, welcome. How you doing? You all right? Spick and Span says, what biocide do you recommend for patio to keep algae and weeds away? I would recommend the products that I always recommend from Pure Seal. You can get BioClear 50 or Back Clear 50. I think the Back Clear is a bit cheaper than the BioClear, so 5 litres is 30 quid. And I don't know the difference between them. Like, I've been on the Pure Seal course, I've not been on the Pure Seal roof cleaning course yet. So Back 50, 30 quid. BioClear 50. You can get 40 or 50 in the BioClear. And that is 75 quid for 5 litres. So it's a bit of a price difference. I don't know why, I don't know the difference. But these are the products I use. These are my go-to. This is my go-to supplier. Everything I bought from them has been fantastic. I'm not affiliated with them. I've done like a sponsored thing with them in the past, where I did a TikTok rust removal video using one of their rust removal products. I'm sorry if this is going to be super loud. Where is it? Here we go. Oh, my monitor's just turned off. At least my camera's not turning off today. I found a new way to hook my camera up to the stream